Hello everyone, welcome to Assist Biology. In this video, we are going to discuss about male reproductive system, and this is the first part from the chapter Human Reproduction. Before starting, let me introduce myself. I am Ashish Kumar Das, a student of MSc Animal Biology, University of Hyderabad. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for getting more updates. Now, let's begin. So first of all, what we will discuss today, we will see what are primary sex organ and what are secondary sex organ. We will see along with their example. Then we will also learn what are the different part of the male reproductive system along with their function they are performing, okay, and what are accessory glands and many more. So first of all, before going into the topic, we must have a brief idea about primary and secondary sex organ, okay. Sometimes many students are confused regarding both of these. So first of all, what are primary sex organ? The reproductive organ that produce gametes and hormones, okay. Gametes and hormones, these are two key words, okay. So the primary sex organ are the organ that produce gametes and hormones, that is the sex hormones, okay. So example are testis and ovary. And secondary sex organ, they perform important accessory function, okay. Although they don't produce gametes and hormone, but they perform other important function in reproduction. So example is epididymis and oviduct, okay. So first of all, you see the diagram of the male reproductive system, okay. There is penis, urethra, epididymis, testicle, prostate, okay, prostate gland, seminal vesicle, bladder, vas deferens and colon. We will discuss each of them, okay. So male reproductive system, so the primary sex organ is a pair of testes, okay, that is two testes, okay, and these are the primary sex organ because they produce gametes and hormones. The secondary sex organ are the duct system and the associated glands associated with the testes, a pair of testes. Then external genitalia, so these are the parts, okay, that is the testes, duct system and associated glands, external genitalia, all of these are part, and they are covered by three layers of tissue. These are important, okay. Three layer, what are the three layer? Tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea and tunica vasculosa. So where they are located, we see tunica albuginea is the thick dense fibrous tissue, tunica vaginalis is the outermost layer, and tunica vasculosa is the innermost vascular layer that is supplied with blood vessels. So what are the three layer you must remember? Tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea and tunica vasculosa, along with their orientation, means inside to outside or outside to inside. Now testis, is the primary sex organ. So outside it is present outside the abdominal cavity in a pouch called scrotum. And what are the requirement of the testis lying outside? Because the sperm formation required or sperm production required a temperature 2 to 3 degree less than the body temperature, that is necessary for spermatogenesis. That's why they are located outside the scrotum, outside the body, outside the body cavity or abdominal cavity in a small pouch called as scrotum. So what are the shape, size, dimension? So testis is oval in shape, length 5 cm, 2 to 3 cm of width and 3 cm of thickness. Each testis contain 250 compartment called as testicular lobules, okay. The testicular lobules are the small compartment, and each lobule contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. You must not be confused regarding tubule and lobule, okay. Each testis contain 250 small compartment, that is testicular lobules, that is the small lobules inside the testis, and each lobule contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule, that is the structural and functional unit of the testis where the actual sperm formation takes place. Then the seminiferous tubule has a tunic layer of connective tissue, that is the tunica vasculosa, and it is lined by germinal or seminiferous epithelium. As you know, epithelium is have a protective function, and germinal means it have ability to give rise to germ cell, that is the gametes. That's why this is called a germinal epithelium. Now here you can see the diagram. The seminiferous, these small black structure, these are the seminiferous lobule or testicular lobules, and inside them there are small tubular highly convoluted structure. These are the seminiferous tubule, okay. That's also, they are also called as tubuli seminiferi, okay. You can see the tissues, that is the protective connective tissue, that is tunica vaginalis, tunica albuginea here, and here you can see the epididymis, ductus deferens. All of these things we will discuss. So first here you see the black structure, these are the black structure, these are the seminiferous lobule and or testicular lobules, and inside them the coiled highly convoluted structure, convoluted means coiled, they are seminiferous tubule. So you must not confuse between seminiferous lobule and seminiferous tubule, okay. The black structure are called seminiferous lobule, and inside them the seminiferous tubule are there. So seminiferous epithelium contain two kind of cell. What are the two kind of cell? Sertoli cell and spermatogonia, that is male germ cell. Okay. So what happens? What is the function of Sertoli cell? Sertoli cell provide shape and nutrition to the developing germ cell and spermatozoa. Spermatozoa is the mature motile sperm cell. Okay. So Sertoli cell provide shape and nutrition. As the Sertoli cell provide nutrition, Sertoli cell is also called as nurse cell. Spermatogonia, what are spermatogonia? Spermatogonia are the germ cell that divide to form the spermatozoa, that is the mature male gamete. Then the interstitial space between the seminiferous tubule with connective tissues. So the interstitial space between the seminiferous tubule contain connective tissues, blood vessels and interstitial cell, that is also called as Leydig cell. So you must remember the location between the location of the Sertoli cell. Sertoli cell is inside the lobule, okay, sorry, inside the tubule, and the Leydig cell is in between the tubule. Okay, you must remember this. The Sertoli cell is inside the tubule and inside the seminiferous tubule, and the Leydig cell is in between the seminiferous tubule, that is the outside of the seminiferous tubule, in the interstitial space between the seminiferous tubule. Okay, and the Leydig cell synthesize and secrete male sex hormone called as androgens. So the function of Sertoli cell is to provide nutrition, that's why they are called as nurse cell, and the Leydig cell secrete male sex hormone called as androgen. Sertoli and Leydig, these cells are named as such according to the name of the discoverer, that is Enrico Sertoli discovered the Sertoli cell. Enrico Sertoli and Franz von Leydig discovered the Leydig cell. Now you can see the cells surrounding the tubule. Okay, cells surrounding the testis, sorry. So what are the cell? You can, so skin is there, dartus muscle is there, external spermatic fascia means a layer of tissue, then cremasteric muscle, tunica vaginalis, parietal layer, tunica vaginalis, visceral, that is internal layer, and tunica albuginea. I put this picture only to make you aware about the layers of the tissues that is covering the testis. There are n number of layers. You can see tunica albuginea, tunica vaginalis, there are two layers, visceral and parietal layer, cremasteric muscles, then external spermatic fascia, dartus muscle and skin. Okay, no need to remember all these things, just you have a brief idea about this. Now duct system of the male reproductive system. So intertesticular duct system, that is inside the testis, start with the tubuli recti. We will see the diagram. Okay, tubuli recti, these are the short straight segment of the seminiferous tubule containing the seminiferous tubules to retitestis. Okay, and retitestis is a spherical anastomosing organ, that is anastomosing means have a togetherness, it means it unites the different seminiferous tubule, and from the retitestis arises 10 to 20 fine tubules called as vasa efferentia that leaves the testis and opens into epididymis. Epididymis is a single convoluted tubule located along the posterior portion of testis. Okay, so you can see here the diagram here, the seminiferous tubule. So this part is the retitestis. Okay, and from them the epididymis is there. Epididymis, you can see caput epididymis, corpus. The caput epididymis is called the head epididymis, corpus epididymis is called the body of the epididymis, and coda is called the tail epididymis. So from the seminiferous tubule the sperm make their way to the retitestis. Okay, so retitestis has the function of uniting all the seminiferous tubule, and from the retitestis to the caput epididymis. Caput epididymis, that is the head of the epididymis, corpus is the body and coda is the tail. So epididymis is highly convoluted, means highly coiled. Okay, so epididymis continues as vast difference and ascent into the abdominal pelvic cavity through inguinal canal. So inguinal canal you must remember. So what happens when the testis fails to descend into the scrotum? This leads to inguinal hernia. Okay, so inguinal canal, this is the canal through which the epididymis, vas deferens, etc. ascend into the abdominal cavity along with the testis. So we will see the structure. So vas deferens and ascend into the abdominal cavity through the inguinal canal. It loops over the urinary bladder and receives a duct from the seminal vesicle. So what happens? The epididymis loops over the urinary bladder. We will see the structure, accessory structure are there. So the epididymis loops over the urinary bladder and receives a duct from the seminal vesicle. That there are two seminal vesicles, we will see. Then of its side, means the epididymis of one side receive a duct from the seminal vesicle from each side. to the ejaculatory duct that runs along the prostate and opens into the prostatic urethra. That is the through which the part of the reproductive system opens to the urethra, and just after emergence from the urinary bladder. Okay, so the urethra receives a duct of prostate gland and the bulbourethral, that is Cowper's gland, a little ahead and runs through the penis to the external opening called as urethral meatus. So urethral meatus is the external opening. All of these things will be cleared in a diagram. Okay, so you can see here the you can see the testis here. The epididymis is there. Okay, 10% epididymis means the 10% of the epididymis, that means the contents of the epididymis, that is sperms, constitute the 10% of semen. The prostate glands constitute the 20% of semen, and the seminal vesicle constitutes 70% of semen. So as this happens, the epididymis is continuing as the vas deferens. Okay, and from vas deferens what happens? It is looping over the urethra. You can see here it is looping over the urethra, and it is coming. It is receiving a duct from the seminal vesicle from each side. There are, so here we are unable to represent the both left and right side. So you can see here the seminal vesicle is receiving a duct from the vas deferens continuing and receiving a duct from the seminal vesicle, also from the prostate gland, and it is continuing in the prostatic urethra, and it is opening outside as the urethral meatus. Okay, so you can see here the accessory glands. There are seminal vesicle, the secretion of fructose, prostaglandin, ascorbic acid, chelating agents, etc. Prostate gland is secreting zinc, citric acid, acid phosphatase, prostatic specific substances. Then bulbourethral gland secrete galactose, sialic acid, and mucus. Okay, and the epididymis contain mainly sperms. So you can see the accessory duct system include pair of seminal vesicle, a prostate gland, and a pair of bulbourethral gland, or also called as Cowper's gland. So their secretion are collectively called as seminal plasma. So the secretion of the accessory gland is called as seminal plasma, but 70% of seminal plasma is secreted by seminal vesicle, that is rich in fructose. During rape diagnosis, the presence of fructose is detected in the female reproductive tract, and this confirms rape. Okay, so seminal plasma contain calcium, fructose, and certain enzymes. So what are their function? Their function is to provide a medium for the spermatozoa to move towards the female reproductive system, that is to meet with the ovum, and also it provides nutrition. As you know, the fructose is a source of nutrients, source of carbohydrates, so this also provides nutrition. And seminal plasma plus spermatozoa constitute the semen, that is the ejaculated liquid, that is the semen. Okay, the ejaculated fluid is the semen, that is constituting both seminal plasma and the spermatozoa. So we have already discussed the diagram. You have to remember the gland, seminal vesicle, prostate gland. Okay, and you have to remember the number. Here the seminal vesicle are 2, prostate gland is 1, and the bulbourethral or Cowper gland are 2. So 2 means once in each side, left and right, but 1 prostate gland. So you can see bulbourethral gland also. Urethra is continuing prostatic urethra. So the part of prostate gland, the part of urethra in connection with the prostate gland, that is prostatic urethra. Then you can see the testicles also. Now external genitalia. So external genitalia is the penis, that is visible from outside. Okay, then made up of special erectile tissue called as corpus cavernosum and corpus spongiosum to facilitate the ejaculation and insemination. Then the enlargement of penis is called as glans penis, and it is covered by loose fold of skin called as foreskin or prepuce. So here in this diagram you can see the internal structure, the cross section of the penis. There are a number of veins: superficial dorsal vein, deep dorsal vein, dorsal artery. So no need to remember all these things. So you can see the skin, superficial dartos fascia, areolar tissue, deep buccal fascia, tunica albuginea, urethra, corpus spongiosum. So the main thing you have to remember is the name of the erectile tissue, that is the corpus cavernosum and corpus spongiosum. So corpus cavernosum and corpus spongiosum, you can see there are 2 rings. These are the corpus. These 2 rings are the corpus spongiosum, 2 circles. Corpus cavernosum, and the one small is the corpus spongiosum. Thank you.